Artefactors Union. We are going to start on the In the Saddle box for the Bayou faction. Although I'm going to call this one Uncle Bogg's Wild Ride. We're going to start with Uncle Bogg! This is Uncle Bogg. He's effectively Florida Man. And this is our render. Goodness is long. This is our sprue. Sprue. But we're going to go ahead and start with the gator, build the gator up, attach anything that's like really closely attached to the body, and I think eventually work our way up into putting Uncle Bogg on top. But nothing here looks too terribly fragile, just a decent amount of pieces. Combine D1 and D2 to make yourselves a gator body. D3 is the gator's lower jaw. And I actually had to press down on this one pretty hard and hold it there for it to not have the really thick gaps. So watch out for that. D4, front left leg. D5 is the spikes right here that also go on the front left leg. D6, the back left leg. Flip. D7, the back right leg. And D8, the front right leg. So for D8, keep a look at this tooth right here. And that's just going to go right in there. There we go. Sorry, that's D9. Combine D10 and D11 to make the chair. Add it to the gator. D12, our bog body. D13, our bog head. Add the bog body to the bog chair. D14, the left arm. You could possibly do this before you attach him to the chair. It wasn't too hard for me to wedge it in there, though, so. D15 is going to be the arm and rope. Just be careful with the rope. It'll attach here, and then right here on the snout. There we go. Again, it might be easier to attach it before you put them on the chair, but it wasn't too hard for me to wedge it in there and just press it down with my knife. Okay, for D15, it's going to attach right there and right there. There we go. View from the front. D17 is going to go right here. Take D18, add D19. It's going to attach right there and up there and down there. There it is. I had to press and hold to get it to connect here and here, so watch out for that. D20 is our umbrella. Interior view. D21 is going to go in this open hole with the lock facing out. There we go. Okay, with D22 and D23, the ropes, just be careful clipping them out and cleaning them. D22 will go on the left side and will connect right there. There we go. Oh, and you can't just set them down on the ground. The can should be dragging. And 23 will connect right there. Yeah, there we go. Uncle Bogg. He's huge. Oh, goodness. Hardest thing of assembling this, probably just getting those ribbons and cans things to stay put. But other than that, he's just big. It's big and unwieldy. Just be gentle and you should be fine. Artefactors Union in the saddle. We're going to start on the minions, the Buckaroos. Start with Buckaroo A, no artwork on the front, and here's the render. And the sprue for all three comes split, but we're only concerned with this part of one of the sprues. Probably just build up the body of the Celerid completely and then add the stuff on top of it and the gremlin. Combine A1 and A2. Here's A3 and it's sitting upright right now. Kind of hard to place unless you can stare at the render, but as a note, these are like blinders on it. So use that as a reference. Anyways, it's gonna just go across the face like that. And there we go. A4 is our back right leg. There it is. I'm sorry, this part up here is actually 811, not A3. A3 is the front right leg. Like so. Flip. A5 is our back left leg. A6 is the front left arm, but also it will connect over here, because it also includes a fishing pole. And this is what it looks like. I jump to conclusions here. You might not know what a Celerid is. A Celerid is this thing. It's a catfish, bullfrog, salamander thing, and they often eat gremlins. Speaking of gremlins, we're going to grab A7 to the back. And on A8, the leg, this little tooth right here needs to be there. Don't shave it off. Anyways, add A8 to A7. Add A10, the gremlin's left arm. I'll go ahead and add them to the Celerid. A couple things to note. One, the arm should connect over here. The rest of the forearm and hand are on the Celerid body. Two, the left arm will be holding on to this whisker of the Celerid. And three, I ended up having to let the leg set and the right The left arm set for a while before I put him on because I kept nudging him out of place trying to jam him on there. So either A, let them set if you're confident that the angle here is good and you can get it to line up with the whisker, or glue them on first and then add the arm and the leg. Lastly, A11, the basket, is going to sit back here with the buckle facing towards the center. Just like that. Buckaroo A is done. We're going to call this one Donald. Hardest part of this build is probably just making sure that you get the back left leg on before you put on the front left leg, as well as just making sure that you don't mess up the leg and the arm of the gremlin as you put them on top of the Silhouette. Moving on to the next one. Artefactors Union. In the saddle box, Buckaroo B is our next model. No arts. But this is our render. Here's our sprue. Sadly, Buckaroo B is split up between the two halves, so we're mostly concerned with these bits. But notice that there is a C3 right there that you shouldn't touch, and B13 is kind of over in the A columns. Combine B1 and B2 to make the body. B3, the lower jaw of the Silhouette. B4 and B5 are going to be the upper jaw and the mustache. B4 is going to be on this side, B5 is going to be on this side. B4 and B5. B6 is the back right leg right here. B7 is this back left leg. B8 is the start to our gremlin, and you know what? We're just going to put him on the saddle first. Like so. Make sure to smoosh his left leg in there nice and tight. B9 is left arm. It's going to attach to the shoulder like it should, but also it will connect in this little... right there. Yeah, like that. B10 is our lovely gremlin head. B11 is the right leg. It's going to connect there and in this area. It'll look like that. Now if I push the leg in as far as it'll go, it creates a bit of a gap right here, and I'm not quite sure how to fix that, so you might need a gap fill, or I just screwed up. I don't know. B12 is the right arm. It'll go over the top of the foot. And B13 is the left arm. Buckaroo B. We're going to call this one Jose. The pain points here is the two bits of the mustache. I had a hard time getting them to go together without there being a huge gap, as well as the gap on the right thigh, which I'm still not entirely sure how to fix that. It might just require a little bit of extra trimming from you if you want it to be perfect. Otherwise, you can fill the gap, or you can ignore it, whatever you want to do. Moving on to the last one in the box. Artefactors Union. In the saddle, we're doing the last of the minions, Buckaroo C. Here's our artwork, and that's the render. Here's our sprue. We're going to do them up just like the last one, really. Put the two pieces of the body together, the lower jaw, the upper jaw, the other part of the upper jaw, the back legs, put the gremlin on top, build the rest of the gremlin. I might build them before I put them on, I'm not sure yet. And we'll end it with the front legs. Combine C1 and C2. C3, lower jaw. C4, upper left jaw. C7, upper right jaw. C11, hind legs. We're going to add the forelegs because I don't think they interfere with the gremlin legs at all. C6, the forelegs, it's going to take a good amount of pressure to get them on there fully. C5, gremlin torso. Add C8, the right arm and leg. Front view. Now jam him onto his glorious mount. Left side. C12, gremlin left leg. C9, the left arm of the gremlin will connect here and then down in there. C9 left arm, and I guess it'll also like attach along the entire length of his torso. And C10, the basket and fishing pole. The handle of the fishing pole actually goes underneath the left leg, so you could possibly do this before you put the left leg on. Buckaroo C, we're going to call him Panchito. Yeah, the hardest part was probably still, again, the upper jaw and mustache, and also just getting him to sit in the saddle right, the gremlin, I mean, and weaving everything in and out of each other. But this one wasn't as hard as the last one, I feel. And overall, not a terrible box to build, just time-consuming. Anyways, enjoy your little green man and frog things.